All right, I'm on hole number 9 of Gokasho 9-hole cup. This is hole number 2 at Gokasho Bay. Let's go check out hole number 2. Now this hole right here, okay, so let's talk about par fives. This hole right here is a birdie hole with an eagle opportunity. So most of the par fives, we have a shot where we're out here in this spot and we're shooting for Albie, and we miss the Albie and we make an eagle. It's an eagle hole with an Albie shot. This hole is a birdie hole with an eagle shot, and we're trying to give ourselves any Albie shot that we have here. I think unless we do a rough bump on this side, where we go from here up to here and do a rough bump, I think any Albie shot is like super luck. I mean, it's not that it can't happen, it's just it's super lucky. You're going to try and pick up the eagle, and you're trying to get that as easy as you can. So there's several ways we can go at it. Way number 1, and this also is the very beginning of way number 2, is to lay it up right here and get as much as you can possibly get without rolling into that rough. Because if you roll into that rough, you're back in the old days where you're hitting from here, laying up to here, and then trying to get the eagle from distance. And what we're trying to do is get on into, or up into. And so from this spot, we have two choices, depending on ball. And I did this earlier today with my practice account with a 3-power ball and a sniper. No, excuse me, take that back. A big dog. I was able to come from here to here and then bridge the gap and get it to run to the hole. Now, if you watch the Gokasho Bay holes, or if I put this one in instead, there's an arc right here. So your arc shot, you're from, so when the ball bounces from here, and you've got curl on the shot, the ball's gonna come in like this, and it's gonna interact with this arc in a different spot. So a lot of times people think of their shot as just being a flat line out here. It's not a flat line. Like, go out to your red line and pull it around, and it'll arc in. That's your arc, right? So it arcs in. And so when you're setting this shot up, I had 6.5 topspin on my big dog, and I was about 1.5 rings off of this surface. I was pinched up more than I usually like to be pinched up, but I was like 1.5 rings. And my ball guide's going off like this, but it was terminating in the water because you don't have really good ball guide. You got to think about where it's going to be on its arc. So if you're putting on max curl from this spot and it's coming in like this, it's going to interact the arc right here. And so the distance, the distance that the ball needs to go to get from this side to clip the rough to bleed up is shorter over here than it is to get up over here. So you have to think about how the tip of your ball guide, because curl's not representing your ball guide. So you have to think about where the ball's landing right here. But when you put the curl on it, like, where does it bring the ball around in its shot? And what we want to do is get right there in the front and do basically a rough bump and bleed up. I would personally rather be in this fairway than to be on the green, because I was on the green earlier today and I had a max putt, and it was slightly overpowered and was able to get it to go in. But I would have rather just been right here in the rough, or cup high, pin high, not way down at the bottom. But there's another way that we can play this, where we hit all the way out to the end and we bring a big power ball and we bring a big dog and we see if we can do a rough bump from this side and just try and go right at it. Now we've got a big dog, so we don't have great ball guide. So the Albie shot's going to be a little bit diminished. The other way that you can go at it is you can bring that same big ball, and I think that you can pound that ball out into this area out in here. And you can take, this is a long iron shot from out here. This is a wood, this is a long iron shot, and you can take this shot coming to the pin with your Nirvana, and this might be more consistent, because if you're in the wrong spot here, you don't quite hit it far enough, this shot may be difficult. Let's see if we can get down there. So I did, let's see, what did I use last time? I don't know why I started off with an extra mile. This is the kind of shot where you can use something that's a little bit more accurate, like a rock or a quarterback. But I did start this off with an extra mile, so I will stick with that. And I'm going to switch this up for a big dog. And I want to take a big power ball, because I want to see if I can get over. These are 4 wind 5 power one side spin, and that will probably work. Especially if we were getting a headwind. Let me try one of those Megalodons. Now the trick here is going to be to get down to the end, because I don't have any notes for like what it'll take to get a 5 power ball to get down to the end. Why didn't it? Oh. I looked at that ball, but I evidently didn't pick it. Select. There we go. Thought something looked weird on the screen there. Looked like it was the wrong ball. So I have no idea how much backspin to put on this. I tell you what, since I'm using a bigger ball and the drive is nothing more than a delivery system, and I don't know what the number is as far as backspin, let's take a club that's got a little bit more ball guide. Let's not dick around with that. If I'm gonna have to set the shot up because I don't know, I might as well bring something accurate. Now if we can't make it all the way up there, we'll have to do the shot from the other side where we curl it around. Hold on. All right, let's see if we can get her done. Get her done, 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 done. Dun, 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 dun. Come on, let's get an opponent here. Finding an opponent. Carlos. Carlos is not in a clan. What's the deal? You should, if you're not in a clan, really, getting the multiple bags is a big deal. And I know everybody wants to, like, if you don't want to grind, don't get in a grinding clan. But if you want to get in a clan where there's, you get at least a couple bags, 2 or 3 bags. 3 bags is ideal at the minimum. I know my opponent may be trying to pound it out there. That would really be nice. I would love to see that. And that was too much left on the table. But they are to the right, so if they're trying to do the bounce over shot, they're in a better position. Okay, I'm going to put on just a little bit of backspin and hope that I don't bleed off. There's 1, 2, 3, 3. I'm just trying to lay it up there. Trying to pick up as much distance as I can, but that right there, I have a little bit more I could go forward, but that right there is, I don't like to, the whole deal is that it's so risky. Like really pushing the limit down there, because if you end up in the rough down there, you're sunk. There is that's, you want to talk about risk versus reward, where the risk is huge. The risk is huge right there if you overshoot that, because you're relegated to having to hit over here, and you're going to be a really, this is not a green that lends itself to coming in from distance. My opponent, if they would have brought a big dog, they would have helped themselves out, and they were way short. That is what we call no bueno in the business. Okay, so it's 1.8 per ring. So there's 1.8. Go about that far. And I'm gonna do and I hit the freaking rough. I hit the fairway. Woo! If I would have hit that fairway there, it would actually went for a ride, so I'm glad I was off that far. I was trying to clip that rough area over there on a max OP shot. Now I could have did the bounce over, but I wanted to see like what the actually was too far. I'd have been just a little bit back from where I was. Even with max OP, I don't think I would have been able to hit it far enough forward to clip the fairway. It looked like it was right on the verge. Yeah, let's see if we can get this in. This is a very makeable shot from here. Let's see what our topspin looks like. That's going to run out for a mile. From this range, we go right there. And hit one ring great to the left. And it'll miss one ring great to the left. Did not give myself a shot with that second shot. Tried to push the limit. So the deal is that if you're down in there, that shot's not going to, you're not going to be able to get far enough in that hole. I left a little teeny bit on the table, but I'm not sure that that little teeny bit was what we needed to get me up there. So I think the only two options are to hit out there in the rough. And that hits, you'd have to get 135. 135, 185, so 50 yards. You'd have to get farther than 50 yards into the rough in order to be in a shorter shot with your Nirvana than you are with your Big Dog. And I definitely think it's possible to get 60 yards out into that rough. And it may be better with the Apocalypse than the Extra Mile because you're trying to get that first bounce. It would be better because you're trying to get that first bounce as far out. That's the shot that I'm gonna take tomorrow because this is a birdie hole with an eagle opportunity, and I want to give myself that shot. So I was almost to the tip, almost to the end, and my red line was right here. I couldn't quite get to the rough bump. That's 185 yards with a Big Dog. Well, a Nirvana hits 135. And that's from tee box or tee to ring set. So that's a 50-yard difference. So I have to get 50 yards out into here in order to get more into my rapier range than I would with my Big Dog. And I think that that's possible. So if you use an APOC and a Power 5 ball, number one, you get the extra 3 yards of raw distance, and I don't know that we're going to get, and we might get 2 bounces in this fairway, and it might be better to stretch it out so that you get a second bounce in the fairway, then you get the entire length of the third bounce, and then however much it can dribble forward, if that's possible. But I want to see what this shot looks like out here, where we're out in the fairway, and see if it's easier to just get this rough shot with a Nirvana. It might be. Maybe. Maybe we'll see. All right. That was hole number 9 of Gokasho Bay. That was a minus 13. I picked up some stuff. Gave myself the whole number. That last hole right there. That's a hole that we really need to get an eagle on. We always need to think of every par 5 in this game as an eagle hole, no matter what. Even the ones that are birdie holes with an eagle opportunity, we have got to get the eagle on that. So. And the other way, if you come in from the right-hand side and do the bounce over, that's not really that bad of a shot. Thanks for watching.